We're going. We're doing podcasting. Andrew,
Go on, the podcast.
I feel like I've not seen you this year.
It's like literally, I've been poorly sick. I've not been well. I didn't know what all. I thought, there's all this fuss about COVID. It can't be that bad. I've had it, folks. Ridiculous. Like worst case of man flu ever in the whole wide world ever. And I still can't taste the smell, Cherry lads. It's doing me head in. Proper. Go on, what are we talking about then?
We're going to do podcast, aren't we? Just to liven us up a bit. And we're going to talk about
Go ahead. What are we talking about?
Match fishing mentality.
Yeah, match fishing mentality and how all about it. Not just how we are.
Yeah.
Just how it can affect you and things like that. And there's so much to it, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
What, all the sort of mind games and...
There's loads. Literally how you rock up. Let's start with that.
Go from the start then. For me, even like drawing your peg, you get it set like, right, I've got to draw it. If I don't draw it, it's going to be rubbish. Or like, I'm going to think about going to IKEA or McDonald's, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's that though. It's having it set in your head that where you want to draw. And then when you don't get it, I think it instantly gets you on a downer straight away. It does for me.
Yeah.
Instantly think, oh, rubbish. Whereas someone like yourself, you'd be more sort of confident. And because I've seen you loads of times, J-Lad, pretty much every match you go in, going to win, isn't he? That's what he's like. It's that mentality.
Do you not think it's nicer when it is a new venue that you don't really know about?
Yeah.
And you just, I know it's cliche as anything, but not knowing anything about a peg, you just draw it, you go to it and fish.
Absolutely.
That's the worst thing in the world, and obviously you'll have it because you're always in these big finals. You know instantly, don't you?
I'm proper. What's the word? I have anxiety.
That was a big fish, that, wasn't it?
I think it was a big hit.
Oh.
I have like proper anxiety before a draw in a big event.
I've seen you do it. I remember the Golden Reel final.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Were you there at the Golden Reel 2019 one when he won?
Is that when he threw the peg across
Oh
the room?
my days! Lulu's like that. My wife's like that. Jamie's not very happy, is he? Where's he gone? And then from obviously that had that like ripple effect.
Because different. Yeah.
Bookies. Can we mention that?
What?
About what happened with the bookies and everything like that? They all thought you drawn rubbish, so your odds went up and.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You did it a lot of people, Jamie.
Stitch the bookies up right there. But no, that's don't go into that.
Go ahead.
No, but I get anxious before the draw, but that's uncontrollable, isn't it? Do you know what it is? I get worried about the things that are beyond my control. Do you know what I mean? You can't control
this is where, I mean, obviously, as you all know, I do like to have a drink. This is where I'd have a drink just to like calm yourself and that.
A bit.
Whereas you're the opposite, aren't you? You want to go back to your room, but then
that's probably not the best advice to be giving out.
Oh no, I don't.
If you suffer from anxiety, just become an alcoholic.
No, I'm not saying
right out.
Shit, just edit me out of this one then. Yeah, I've got the wrong. But no, for me, everyone deals with it different. For me, 2 or 3 drinks, you know what I mean? Just it calms me down. I'm not talking about going out and getting straight on it.
Yeah.
But for me, that's what works for me.
That's the word, isn't it? You need to be. Calmness is massive, isn't it?
I think staying up later as well, you know what I mean? Not like getting the lock. I'm not talking about that now, but staying up later just so you haven't got that much longer in bed and like, you know, you're a bit tired, so you do have a sleep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. That's big event sort of thing, that only. That's not regular.
No, that's every match for me, Jay.
No, to be fair though, like, I know for you it's big events, but
for us,
for a lot of people it's whatever, like, when you first start going to club matches and stuff.
You're excited for your
weekend. Yeah, you're excited and it's a big deal and like you've done all your prep and stuff like that. And I suppose it is that you can have done everything right in the build up to it, then you draw bad. That's like it being out of your control, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what...
you have to see that. People will take that in 2 different ways. Some people become stressed and weird about it. Other people find it's the buzz and the excitement of you going fishing and thinking all of that.
Because
like, really, yeah, from 1 week to the next.
I've had both.
Do you think that being the other way, like sort of James Dent and Andy Bennett, that sort of level where it's just totally chilled out about it, that is the ultimate mentality to have as an angler? Or is there times where...
Yeah,
I'd say
that's those 2 definitely.
Never seem to be flustered at all, do they? No matter where they draw, it's the same, it is what it is, even if it's a flyer, even if it's not. Just got to fish it, innit?
Yeah, because I've probably mentioned this to a few people. The first time I seen it with Denty, it was Drennan Knockout Cup when it was at Western. I think that was the first time I've seen him fish a match, going back years. And like he's fishing in a corner, dead snagging everything. It is like losing quite a few fish, but every time he's lost one, it's just like, oh, that's happened and move on. Where the amount of people you see that will lose a fish, get pissed off, the next one they like pull a bit hard and lose that one.
Yeah.
Then the next one they go the other way. And you suddenly, rather than losing 1 fish, you've lost 2, 3 and wasted 15 minutes.
Very hard to do that.
Yeah.
To control yourself into coming back when shit goes wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very hard to do. And in some matches, it's not possible to come back, is it?
No.
You know what I mean?
But This is where I am shocking at match fishing, is when I'm like the amount of times I've gone behind early.
Yeah.
If I win a match, generally I've started well
Yeah.
and carried on. But as soon as I go behind, I start feeling like I've got to do stuff faster,
putting more pressure
and
on yourself.
you never catch up. You do, and the amount of times you look back and then you finish the match and you're like, I've done stuff wrong here, and you're a few pound behind. And you're like, if I'd just carried on doing what I was
'Cause
doing,
you got worked up about things.
yeah, and it 100% that is, and I know I do it, which is annoying, and it's so hard to get out of that. And it was exactly the same with like Matty at Larford, where
Yeah.
he's got ahead, and I've sort of felt, well, I'm not going to catch up doing the same thing, so I've got to do something different. So I've done the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So he just fell even further behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, not evaluating the situation properly.
No, and there's a lot of different aspects to it, isn't there? Because obviously we covered the draw. The next thing would be, for me, it'd be about the setting up and what you're going to do. You know, that obviously that can change, but it's having the confidence in what you're going to do.
This.
You
Yeah,
know what
I
I
like
mean?
this. Go down this. Yeah.
There's that
So-
element next, and then obviously you've got the element of fishing through the match, what's going on around you, looking at people.
Go back to the setting up.
Go back,
Where are you
yeah.
going with that?
It's not so much setting up, isn't it? It's the
I think
when you're at your peg, the decisions you make, what attitude you're in, to whether you're
Yeah.
nice days fishing, cover all options,
That's it.
or
Or just getting job
shit
done. That's your mentality.
But
Whereas
you've
mine-
changed though. Over the last 5 years, like going back to map days, you set up a lot less kit and you were like, this is going to work and this is what I'm doing. But now you seem to be setting up a lot more kit.
Do I?
Especially in big matches, yeah.
many top
I don't know if
hits.
that's going more...
I'll set lots up, but I won't do many.
yeah.
Too many
Stick
things.
to
But
the same
before you
things.
weren't, you were just setting up what you thought would work and that was it. Like
Yeah.
setting up rigs in the middle of finals and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I
to
think
change it.
that mentality, yeah. Obviously, listening to too many people, I'm guilty of that. You know, speak to someone and like tell me, and then I always come back to just speaking to him, and he'll tell you, and that's it
Do
for
that.
me. That's going to get.
That's how it needs to be, though, doesn't it?
It
You have
does.
to be-
It does, because you can like it'll do your head in. You know what I mean? When it proper gets to you in that respect. But yeah, just setting up, not doing loads of bad things, just doing everything that you're setting up for a reason.
Yeah,
Not
but
just cut off.
Do a couple of things
just in
well,
case.
rather
Yeah.
than cover all your options.
That's what I wanted to say, Jay. Well
So-
in, mate. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But again, this is like you're saying about talking to people. The whole,
Yeah.
if you ask someone for their opinion how they'd fish a peg, would you be better off fishing it exactly how they tell you, even if it's not how you'd fish normally, or doing
No.
your own thing
You've
and
got to
doing
do
it
your own
well?
thing.
Own
Got
thing.
to.
We fished on that this year, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were sick of going to places, doing what?
Listening.
Oh, you need to do this there. Partridge is the one. Go and fish meat. Don't win on
Catched
it.
on meat cock.
Yeah.
You didn't catch on meat cock,
Didn't
did you?
catch on meat cock
No.
ever. But it's you can't follow the crowd. You have to be the leader, and you have to have that mentality to be the leader, not being arrogant and I'll do it my way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Confidence is more important than. Yeah, you're going to perform better with confidence and knowledge of what you're doing
Yeah,
than bodging it with something you're unsure of,
yeah.
aren't you?
Definitely, 100%.
As long as it's not something completely off the scale.
Once you get confident in something, you're in that thought process all the time. You're not getting out of it, and you just like it breathes into your fishing, then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you fish better, just because you've done it so often. It's worked for you, and you just can't not be confident about what you're gonna try and achieve.
That's a big thing these days as well for a lot of people that have the fortune of being able to be on the bank a lot. Again, of course, that comes into, yes, they're on the bank a lot, so they're doing things better. But I think being on the bank a lot helps grow your confidence as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, of course it does.
You're tuned in
Yeah.
to what's
Yeah.
happening. Not even if you're skipping like we do. Do you mean I'll never fish the same venue twice in a week unless it's an event. But I can go from flipping Monk Hall to.
Nuthatch. Yeah, go ahead.
You're looking at something good.
Yeah, nuthatch.
Oh, Nuthatch.
Go
We'll
ahead.
zoom in on him. He'll be tiny. I've got skimmers. Meg got me.
Yeah.
What man about? Yeah, I could go from like Monk Hall crazy fishing to Boddingtons, and but
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
still
yeah.
feel clicked into fishing, don't you?
Yeah.
And that gives you confidence
But even
just to chill.
not just the fishing side, like if you're outdoors a lot, even if it's not fishing, just being like in tune with the seasons and knowing what the weather's doing and stuff like that, it gives you a bit of a head start rather than someone who might be sat in an office totally ignoring everything, not aware of it, and
That's
you just
it.
sort
One
of in
week to the
tune
next.
with
It changes one day to the
seasons.
next, doesn't it? Not 1 week to the next.
Again, it's the mentality side of things though that affects things.
Yeah.
It's all about confidence in it and happy.
So going the other way,
Yeah,
sort
that's
of,
setting up right. So like in the match now, fishing through the match, and I think the biggest thing for me is obviously we talk about it a lot is seeing what what other people are doing and what's going on around. And when you think you're behind, I don't know, like you were saying before, I do tend to rush a little bit more. Sometimes make silly decisions, but it's that mentality thinking you're miles behind. But then the reality of it is, by the end of the match, you've smashed them to bits just because I think you're in that zone.
I don't think you're ever as far behind as you feel
No.
you are.
No, not in most situations. No. I think I've changed with watching people. I don't think I do it much now.
Do you not?
Not like we used to.
Why?
So you've told everyone to watch people, now you don't,
No, but
Jamie.
you need to, because... No, you need to watch people. And we're going to...
What are you watching for?
I think watching them knackers you up a lot of the time because it puts weird
does.
things in your head.
Yeah, it does.
Do you not think if you're like on a row of anglers and you're watching along it, you'll see you're not really focusing enough to know who's catching what. You're seeing fish getting caught. So you're looking to your right, you've seen 10 fish get caught, but it might be 10 different anglers.
Yeah.
Then in your head, you've caught 5 fish or whatever.
And then-
you
but I
feel
think
you're
You've seen
behind.
loads caught,
Yeah.
The reverse effect of that, I think it makes you fish a little bit better as well.
Doing
Because it
what?
makes you concentrate a bit more.
Not watching people.
Yeah.
I think if you're next to a better angler, you fish better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they push you, they
Yeah.
make you...
Or you'll find out things quicker because they might have found something out that you weren't doing, and you can react to that sort of thing as well.
But that's what I was going to go on to next. These days, I don't find that... I wouldn't change my way in a match because of what someone else is doing these days. I'd use someone else as a learning thing. Like I'm thinking of Fish North now that we've just done up at Forest Lane.
Yeah.
And you could never change your match because you had to fish your match, that was it. You couldn't, as soon as you deviated, you were knackered. So you had to fish your match and then see what your weight was at the end.
Right.
And it was only through going and you'd fish a whole match and then you could change your next match
Yeah.
by watching people, but you couldn't change
Because
mid-match.
obviously it was that much carnage, you mean. If you took your eye off the ball, that was it, you
Well,
missed
as soon
out on
as you
some
change, you
fish.
just, yeah.
Yeah.
And it got me a completely different mentality that watching people's great, for learning for future, not for in the moment.
Because the biggest thing now just timing. So especially with like edges and stuff, seeing someone catch down the edge, that's sort of the trigger for you to think,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, having the belief that you know that will work. That's the thing, yeah. Again, not timings looked at in that way. Again, that mental thing. Having belief in what your decision is going to be, that it will work.
Yeah. A lot of fishing comes down to that confidence thing, doesn't it?
Oh, mate.
But
You throw a
having that-
feeder out, if you don't think it's going to go,
Yeah.
it don't go, does it?
No, not at all.
In winter, you throw bomb and bread out and you're not happy, it ain't going.
That's it.
Do you believe in all that like positive mental attitude
Massive.
and
Massive.
calmery stuff?
Yeah. If I rock up in a pooey mood and I don't want to be there, I might as well go home.
Do you have any weird like little routines and
No.
stuff?
Not routines. Do you?
No. I think we said it before, like drawing, I was drawing with my right hand, I always want to be at the front of the queue rather than right at the back, you know what I mean? But that
anymore.
doesn't mean anything, does it?
No, I always draw right-handed.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
just. But it's weird, isn't it? You definitely go on runs with drawing.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
19 years of a run now.
You know, a good run, Jay, let someone else have a go. I'll just full stop need to fish more matches, simple as that, and I will do.
Yeah.
That's the issue that I'm having, you know what I mean?
Well, your
but
confidence
that'll
will come once you get back into it.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll be all right.
And plus, it's the time of year that I love catching silvers, so I'm really excited about them coming up. You know,
I think
I've
that's
even got
important to need to be excited and enjoy the type of fishing you're doing.
100%, you've got to
Makes
enjoy
you
that.
keener, doesn't it?
Oh, mate, I can't wait for like this time of year every single year. And then when summer comes, I'm like, oh, here we go again. I don't get the buzz as much
Don't you?
as what I do for like, no, never have done as much as I do for this
But do you
time
not
of year.
find the whole qualifier thing becomes
I've hated the qualifiers this
it's
year.
getting that's trying to get a job done rather than enjoyable fishing
Added
a lot of the
pressure,
time.
innit?
It is, because
So it makes you think
you only go
different.
in there, set method, set routine, and that's the only way you're going to win them big qualifiers, isn't it?
But
Yeah.
That's
again,
the mentality.
they make you think differently, and I don't think it's right a lot of the time. Because I had a proper spell last year and the year before, where I was trying way too hard, trying to win a match in the first hour. Because especially where it's a bigger weight, where you know you need like £200 or something to win.
Yeah.
You fish differently, and there's no reason to. If anything, you've got to be a bit more careful because it's like tighter pegging, more people on, and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you get a chance, you can't f it up by doing that.
Yeah.
I hated that. When people used to say that back in the day, didn't it? I'll have said it myself, talking crap. That when you get a chance, you've got to fish really positively and make sure you get job done. You haven't. You've just got to do whatever's right for getting job done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
'cause
it?
your peg's capable, isn't it? But
Yeah, feeding loads of bait and being a dick is never the way of winning a match. You
No.
just need to be. You need to treat every match the same. But there's two different types of anglers, isn't there? There's what we said. There's either make the most of the peg.
Yeah.
I did really well there, won my section, or I've won the match, or
I've done rubbish.
I'm on the way home, and that was
Yeah. And that's how it's got to be in them qualifiers, isn't it?
I think in commercial world, that's how you got to be now.
Yeah.
So unless you go in the midweek or whenever for an open match, I mean, your day off work, completely different thing.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to be top level, you win a match or you're down.
Yeah.
There's no, I've won my section. Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
on
need
those
to
one-off matches, I suppose it's a bit different. Do you fish differently on like
No.
leagues and stuff like
Your
that?
mentality doesn't change from like the beginnings to just
No.
like a normal open.
No, I wanna
Still the same. Just want to win.
same. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
win. I want to win, that's it.
But
I've just knackered Monk Hall Festival by having that attitude.
Yeah.
Second day, if I'd have fished a sensible match, I'd have come second or third on my lake.
Right.
And I'd have come third overall in the festival.
All right. Okay.
Don't do that.
But that's
Just want to win.
definitely different with like team and individual anglers, isn't it?
teams, whole different
Like
world.
you'd be rubbish as a team angler like that.
Yeah.
If you went in with that mentality, you'd be like,
I hate your team.
I'd be sacked instantly from any team, yeah. But it's commercials again, so it's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no, I've never felt in my fishing world that there's a, getting the most out of my peg and
yeah.
just, if my peg can win, I want to win.
So
And you have to have that belief, that confidence and right mentality that it can, innit? If I do this, they will come. What is it? If we build it, they will come. It is, isn't it?
It's right, mate. Yeah.
We fill it in, they will rock up. That don't work.
No, it don't
Big
work.
No.
No, you fix me in that respect. Yeah, it definitely doesn't work.
So, kind of going away from your mentality, playing about with other people's mentality
Yeah,
in good or
like
bad
that.
ways.
Yeah.
What like tricks have you done or seen?
There's two ways, isn't there? There's the flipping neck. Just
Are you
I think
tell people you're
wor-
catching less than you are, or
no, I don't chat in a match really.
The worst one is beforehand when someone's on a good peg and then you rock up and say, "Oh yeah, I'd win it off that peg." That's instantly in someone's head. You know what I mean?
I haven't said that for a
If you-
long
you've
time.
not-
I only say that to one of my mates, not anyone else.
I remember a few times you said that. Like, I'm going back years and like incidents like that. Yeah, Jamie would win off that peg. He's definitely 100%. I've said it to you a few times, haven't I, in some of the matches.
Have you?
Jay would literally just do this and he'd win, whereas I'm like faffing about and this, that, and the other. Yeah, I remember them, mate. They're like, no, you know it. But like, you're right, you would win off that peg just
gotta
because
have
that's your
the-
mentality.
No, how can you play with other people? 'Cause it can be done hugely. Hugely.
because you hear of like
I mean, feeding's the one, isn't it? Getting a big pot out but not putting much in.
No, that doesn't exist anymore. That's
Used to
crap.
though, didn't it?
Back in day, that used to be a thing. People would pretend to feed. Just stop wasting time and fish.
How often have you heard it then in matches? Like, oh, so and so's got £80, then come the end, they've got like £40.
oh
That does your head in.
that
doesn't
is
it?
a
And you hear it all the
that
time.
Oh.
Like, starts off at 40, then it goes to something like it's 50, then it's 60. Like, oh, he's had £80 in the first hour. Like, no, not even had £80.
I suppose that comes down to not listening to it a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, you gotta be careful. But that's again playing games,
Yeah.
then, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, if you-
definitely.
Because Coleman's used to be like that, and decoy where it was fishery nets, but you're only allowed like 2 or 3 to start with.
Yeah.
Go in early for a net,
Oh,
just to
right.
like get into people's head a bit,
Yeah.
because they know, oh yeah, he must have 40, 50 pound sort of mark, and if you're because one was Silver's net.
Yeah. If you can plant seeds, someone's out of sight. It knackers so many people up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Back in the day, Andy's caught road some waggler.
It would then. You'd be
It
like,
was,
oh.
yeah. But yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, I suppose. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got to be sportsmanly and not play that game too much, haven't you? But it can definitely happen.
That was the one. I'd
Right.
win off that
What
peg.
about crap like lying about how you caught things? It doesn't.
I don't think
believe in
anyone
any of
does
that
anymore.
I think it's too
I generally don't think they do.
everything's too open now, isn't
It
it?
is,
It's
yeah.
not.
You
It's
just
not
go and
like,
have a look on the peg after, don't
Yeah.
you? What bait? You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
but no one has wonder baits and stuff
No,
like that anymore, do they?
We've learned that wonderbait doesn't exist. They eat because they want to eat. Isn't it? You've just got to feed the right bait in the right way at the right time. Done.
Fuka. Yeah, no, that's right. It is. Right, there isn't one. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
But it definitely went on back in the day, didn't it, with the baits? It's oh yeah, like 3 red maggots, 4 and a white, things
Additives
like
and
that.
all that used to be believable,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
genuinely have belief in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, just,
I was convinced. of
he's
some of
using
them,
this. He's winning because he's putting this on.
Goo was the one. Suey's went through a phase of like, I remember it was Lewis who put like goo on his maggots and he was convinced it made a difference for him. I'm like, you just draw the best peg every blooming time, mate. That's why. You know what I mean? The people who try it.
You know, everyone has like hook baits that they're like, I'm 100% going to catch on this. This is my banker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does everyone leave it till the last option? The amount of people that like use everything else, go through it, and then I'll put the good
special
one on. Why
I'll
didn't
tell you
put
what,
that on
another
first?
like mentality as well. So yesterday, it's changed for me now in that I can't get white maggots. It's got to be red maggots now. That's that kind of mentality.
It's
as
just
well,
in
isn't
your head, isn't it?
Confident. Yeah, it is.
All in your head.
But we put white maggots on, and it was like better than it was with because I just got an handful, and it's better than red maggots. Like 100%, it was better. But before that, it had to be red maggots. It's weird.
It's that whole, if you're confident in something, you use it, and then you catch on it because you're using it.
Yeah,
So-
it's eliminating confusion. That's all you're trying to do in your own head.
No, but like when venues go through a phase of everyone catching on meat, it's because one
meat,
person catches on meat, so everyone else follows. So everyone's fishing meat, so everyone's going to catch on
That's
meat
all they're going to see.
because
Yeah.
that's all they're using.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely happens.
And
doesn't
then it takes someone to do something different and believe their own ideas.
yeah, they're not eating meat anymore. They're on maggots. Right.
You just
Everyone's
feed
on
them.
maggots.
Yeah. No, it's right.
It is, isn't it? They eat whatever, but it's having confidence in it. It's back to the initial conversation, isn't it? About you need to fish what you're confident in
Yeah.
instead of following the trends.
Yeah.
That feelings, moods, and
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. The only one thing you want to know is are they up or down. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what dictates your bait.
Yeah.
The shallow or the on deck. Yeah, the on deck, that'll do. The carp, yeah, that'll do. Pellets it is then.
Yeah.
It's just
It
make
is.
your life simple. Everything's going to be laid back, simple. Like, again, we keep going
Bagger,
back.
denty.
Bagger, denty.
Yeah.
Rock up, laid back, do the right thing, have confidence and massive amounts of belief in what you're doing. Whether it's real or manufactured in your own head, it'll benefit still,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're not still being nice, just confident to yourself, and yeah, this will really work. You'll catch more by being like that.
Yeah.
As
Definitely.
long as it's not something stupid. Do you know what I mean? It's got to still be sensible, not pace shallow in December and whatever that.
Probably
As
still
long as it's
catching it.
sensible for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you'll catch more fish.
Yeah.
Don't know what we babbled about.
That
with
was
this.
No, I like
quite
that.
a nice,
That was-
inspirational finish, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Just
Build it,
stick to
they
your
will
beliefs.
come.
If you think it, do it, and it'll work. That's right.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Yeah, you got to be happy, and you're nice, focused and happy.
We like being happy.